Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Good morning, everybody. What another beautiful Saturday morning. It's crazy, man. You know, the devil think he's slick. But it's cool. We got it, you know. But anyway, you've entered inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I am your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And yes, it's another Saturday, like I said, man. We're going to have a good time. My co-host, Dennis, the intellectual, as you know him, is not in today. But he will be missed, but as far as that content, it won't be missed because I have a special guest in the building. My man from SRT.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Horse. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? Hey, man, listen, I'm glad I'm in the lounge. I see you got the couches, the love seats, ready to talk some sports, so let's get it.
Oh, of course, man. Let's get it. So we have a great show in store for you. We're talking NBA playoffs, of course. We're talking LeBron, the Pelicans. I mean, anything you want, we're talking it. Also, we're going to bring up the NFL draft. You know, it's coming up next week. Man, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Then we're going to talk some Major League Baseball. We're going to talk about those Yankees, and maybe they made a mistake by signing a certain player. But we'll get into that later on. And then we have Battlegrounds. We have Mr. Damian Adams going up against Danny Thompson for the championship. Money's on the line. I'm talking about money for real.
Yes.
So it's going to be good. So make sure you let everybody know they can listen in Atlanta 100 locally on 1100 a.m. Also, make sure to follow us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Radio Now. We're all over. Just look for 1100 a.m. and you'll find us. All right, man, it's time to get in these quick hits.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Yes, and shout out to Sherm Beats for the music. So first off, we're going to start off with Georgia Tech had their spring practice on Friday. And you know today is G-Day.
G-Day.
Georgia Bulldogs, man. What you think about? We know Georgia Tech. We know what they're gonna do, but this Bulldogs is gonna be interesting because Sonny Michel's not there.
Very
Chubbs is not there.
very interesting.
Fromm is gonna get the ball again. They got this freshman coming in.
Yes.
What you think is gonna happen?
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna touch on Georgia Tech real quick. You know, because we don't want to have the Georgia folks say we just Georgia Bulldogs or whatever. So in the flats, you know, Taquan Marshall was a late scratch last night for the spring game. So Lucas Johnson and Tobias Oliver took the reins. But this is the thing. New defense coordinator Nate Woody, new defensive scheme. Georgia Tech moved to the 3-4. They had 3 sacks and 3 run for losses. So that was the big thing, and I think the new defensive coordinator is the big thing for Georgia Tech. We know what they're going to do on offense. Now, getting to G-Day, DeAndre Swift, a little banged up. So guess what? I think this may be Elijah Holyfield's day. If Elijah Holyfield stands out in stardom, this only helps Jake Fromm. Because Georgia Bulldogs has to have a running game this year to make sure Fromm stays in the game because Justin Fields is coming.
And see, that's the thing. that's the beauty of spring practice. You know, the spring
Exactly.
game, to see all of this, to see these players play, get their chance. Yes, it's not like the game, you know, real game, but yes, still to see what they have, man, and just to watch and see what goes on. But
Absolutely.
we'll find out. Moving on. Speaking of quarterbacks, the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Foles have reached an agreement on a revised contract which will include a $2 million contract and incentives. If he starts and he hits certain numbers, you know, he'll get certain bonuses.
Right.
Also, it's an option for him to leave in 2019, and he was slated to make $4 million last year or this year.
Right.
So, did the Eagles make the right decision, and or did Foles make the right decision?
Well, you win a Super Bowl as a quarterback. Basically, they just gave him $2 million and said thank you, as far as I'm concerned. I think it was worthy of that. I think Wentz is on schedule to probably start the first week, but I wouldn't rush it because of, you have Nick Foles. He's kind of in the rhythm right now, so I don't see a problem with it. I think both of them came to an agreement that was kind of cool. So they just said kind of thank you. Here's $2 million. We good.
All right, moving on. Miami Heat's forward Justice Winslow was fined $15,000 for intentionally stepping on Joel Embiid's face guard or his mask during Game 3. If you don't know, Joel Embiid, he has
They had a fracture.
It's a fracture because the term they have, I can't even say it.
Yeah.
But either
Fractured face.
Yeah, fractured face, cheekbone. Anyway, it was on the floor and Justice stepped on it. Do you think that fine is warranted, or do you think the league is getting
absolutely
soft?
Absolutely soft. Bush League. They should fine the referees every time they miss a traveling call.
Man, I've been saying that, bro.
They need to fine the referees every time
we need to
fine the referees. I mean, stepping on the mask?
Yeah, come on, bro.
I mean, 15,000.
15,000.
Stop it. That's a stop it.
Right.
That's a stop it.
Greg,
I
want that stop it.
So.
Moving on. Aaron Rodgers became a minority stake, I guess, how you want to say it.
They say limited owner.
Limited owner, right?
Yeah, I don't
limited.
know what that means,
But yeah, I mean, so he could have bought 1%.
Exactly.
I don't know why everybody's going crazy with this, but I mean, my question is, does this mean he's staying in Green Bay and everybody could leave the contract talk alone?
I think this means that retirement is in the near future. When you start investing money into sports teams and things of that nature, I think retirement is in the future, and don't be surprised if he joins the ownership of the Green Bay Packers as well.
Right. And last but not least, Seattle Seahawks. Pete Carroll said that Colin Kaepernick discussion as far as him maybe joining the team is still open. That's what he says.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, when they asked about the him kneeling or standing up for the national anthem, he said, "See, this is why I can't talk about this."
Listen, man, Pete Carroll pretty much needs to just kind of stay out of the news. He can't even control his defense.
Right.
They arguing on the field, they doing this and that, and things of that nature. I just think Pete Carroll really needs to just stay out of the news and just let Seattle be Seattle. They just had Trayvon Barkins. They just released him because of some off the field issues. You don't need anything else going to Seattle as far as issues and things of that nature. So just kind of stay out of the limelight at this point.
No, I definitely agree. All right, that wraps up Quick Hits. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm your girl Crystal Dayon, and this is your sports news break. The Atlanta Braves lost last night in extra innings to the New York Mets, 5-3. Giannis Cespedes singled in 2 runs in the top of the 12th for the win. In NBA playoff action, the Indiana Pacers defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 92-90, to take a 2-1 lead in the series. The Washington Wizards handed the Toronto Raptors their first loss in a lopsided victory, 122-103. Toronto leads that series 2-1. And the Milwaukee Bucks blew out the Boston Celtics at home, 116-92. The Celtics still have a 2-1 lead in the series. Make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all your major sports news updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
There's a lot going on in the world.
Want to lower your rate and payments? Get rid of mortgage insurance or get cash out? Find out about your best refinance options by tuning into the Get Mortgage Fit radio show with Alex Michaels and Carrie Kasem, Monday afternoon at 12 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 p.m., and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., where you'll learn everything you need to know about mortgage loans, today's rates, FHA, VA, and more. Call the Get Mortgage Fit Show on the Real 1100 a.m. at 800-827-RATE. That's 800-827-RATE, or visit them online at newamericanfunding.com.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. Gonna be a great show.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, here with my man, Horace.
You already know.
Of course, we got G in the building. G ain't said he's not talking. It's cool, G. We good, baby. We good. It's not you. We good. Also, this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Seneca's Barbershop, located in Douglasville, Georgia, 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206. Shout out to the people there. And shout out to my homie, Frank, the barber. That man so cold. He won Battlegrounds, and then when he had a chance to come back and, defend his win, he said, you know what, y'all can have it, man. I'm too good for that. So shout out to him, man. Also shout out to Miss Sean Polite, who is listening. What's up, Miss Sean? I see you. Appreciate you. All right, so we're about to get into this, y'all. We're talking right now.
Yeah,
hot topic,
this
man.
This is a tough one, him.
So
good
all week, and it's funny how social media gets when somebody has a good game. So all of a sudden, Dwayne Wade has a good game in game 2, right? Comes alive. Then all of a sudden, is he the best shooting guard in the game? Is he all this talk? Come on, y'all. So this is the new millennium, but still, it made me wonder. It made me think. You know what? Where do you rank Dwayne Wade when it comes to shooting guards? And of course, you all can call in at 404-603-8770. Once again, that's 404-603-8770.
All right.
Where you got Dwayne, man? Where do you rank him as far as shooting guards?
Well, let's just be clear. First of all, it's the moment in present, prisoner of the moment. Nothing against Dwayne Wade. I think he's had a wonderful career. Mm-hmm. But the popularity says that he's probably after Kobe and Mike. Right. But then you got Clyde Drexler, George Gervin. Even if you want to throw AI in there, Tracy McGrady, Ray Allen. If you take away the popularity, I would say maybe 5.
You got him number 5?
Number 5.
Can I get a stop it? What?
Take away the popularity and maybe 5. I mean,
man, come on.
Yeah.
I think you're saying that just to bother me.
No. I mean, so take away the rings, take away the popularity. You taking AI over? I mean, you taking Dwayne over AI? Yeah,
I don't look at Iverson as a shooting guard.
You see what he said?
I never thought Iverson was a shooting
guard.
Okay,
what about George Gervin?
He's a small forward.
Well, they got him as a shooting guard. Clyde Drexler, Tracy McGrady.
He's better than them.
So wait. So who you have over?
No, I'm just joking. I had him at 4. I had AI. I had AI as 3, and then Dwayne Wade. So I know G a Miami fan.
So let me say this. Okay, so Iverson is a shooting guard
and a point guard.
But he's a shooting guard because in his prime he was a shooting guard. They had Eric Snow running the point,
right?
And when they got to the finals, then Iverson MVP, he was shooting guard.
I mean, I put him in as that as we talked about it, and you look things up. He's point guard / shooting guard, so he ranks high in both categories as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so I have him number 3. If we put Iverson
in the shooting guard, would you have him number 3?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Because the thing is, with Iverson got to the finals. He took that team. You say he took that team to the finals. The East was weak that year. Let's be real. The East was weak, very weak. You look at Wade as a freshman, what he did with that Miami team, and he took him and led him in the playoffs. Did they win the first round? Think they won the first round that year. Who do they have?
Did they play New York? Or was that the year?
They played the Hornets. It was the Hornets last year in the East.
But the Hornets
the weak Hornets.
But the Hornets was nice though. I mean, but we talking about a rookie. So this is what Miami had. Remember, they had garbage Lamar Odom. He didn't find his game until he got to L.A. They had Caron Butler. Who else they have?
Brian Grant.
Stop it! Come on, man.
Vashawn Leonard.
Come on. So
I don't know if he was still there.
He wasn't even there.
Maybe
he would have helped the squad.
Eddie Jones.
Yeah. Eddie Jones wasn't there.
When Wade was a rookie, he was there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He said freshman, he didn't even play as a freshman because he was a prop 4'8".
I mean rookie. Yeah, it was rookie. But Eddie Jones, he was he was there, but he wasn't. That was his last years. But what I'm saying is, he led him to the playoffs. Right? Nobody expected him to. Took over, showed he was clutch, and then, of course, they had Shaq. But it wasn't about Shaq. It was about Wade. We all know Wade is clutch. We all know Wade is on the offensive end. To me, he's more efficient. No, how is that? He's not playing well right now. Right. Go back, look at the stats.
Have Iverson not played well?
He's played. I never said Iverson was bad. All I'm saying is, when you're looking at the two, Wade is more efficient.
Yeah, popularity.
How the popularity doesn't have anything to do with it? If it's
popularity, then it's Iverson. But
right.
As far as like playing, I would go with Wade being more efficient. Iverson had a lot of 9 for 30 games.
Right.
I don't think Wade shot the ball that bad, that often.
You wanna go back and look at last year's and this year's Wade stats?
Well, he's old now.
And plus, you're a Miami fan.
Iverson is retired by this age.
Okay. I mean, can we go wrong by having either one at 3?
No,
or 4?
No.
I mean, we can't go wrong.
Because again, you look at Wade, like I said, he was more efficient. Wade shot over 48% in his career.
48?
Yeah. Iverson shot over 40, I think 42 of his career. 42 or 43, either or. And I think with Wade, who was the better teammate?
Oh, no.
No, I'm going to say who's a better teammate.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So, but what I'm saying is.
The only issue Wade had was getting a divorce and leaving his.
Right. So, the reason why I bring that in, because now you worry about how people play with you. And I'm not talking about as far as teammate, as far as off the court and they like you or not. I'm saying just learning how to play with you.
Right.
True enough, I often took a garbage team to the finals. But again, that year, the year of the Philadelphia 76ers going to the finals, that East was garbage.
Yeah. Okay.
You had Toronto Raptors. That team was garbage. They just had Vince.
It's weak now. Well, last year it was. But, I don't think you can go wrong with either one as far as I'm concerned. So, it is what it is. Dwayne, obviously, I'm giving G a hard time because he's a Miami fan.
Because you like. But I just say this, man. When you look at Clyde, okay, so let me throw some players. So where would you put Clyde?
Probably 6 or 7.
You put Clyde 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, do you put Tracy?
Tracy McGrady.
Put him over.
Tracy McGrady may be 4 or 5, right?
But do you put him? You put him over Clyde though?
I would.
You put him over Clyde?
Put who over Clyde?
Tracy
McGrady.
T-Mac. T-Mac's a beast. Scoring wise, maybe.
Drexler was a better all around player than
T-Mac.
McGrady.
Right.
You gotta put. They got to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Those are team efforts, though. I just think McGrady don't get enough credit as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the thing about McGrady is, and it's just his fault, the fact that McGrady, they never got past the
injuries. Injuries hurt and derail some of his stardom. Let's just say that. And I would say Clyde, until he got to Houston, he was just a real popular guy with Portland.
Right.
That they couldn't get past, Mike in the finals a couple of times because they did have a great team out there at Portland.
Right.
They had an awesome team. And until he got with a King, he didn't. Well, Jordan took 2 years off, so he allowed them to win.
Yeah, true. And that's why I don't give Clyde, because people say, oh, he helped Clyde. No, Hakeem, because Hakeem is the first player ever in the NBA. Not ever, but the first player in his modern history that took a team single-handedly, a superstar with no other superstar, and won a championship. So Clyde coming there, they was there the year before, so you can't give that to him. But the reason why I put him over McGrady, like G said, he was
defender,
offensive player. He did everything you needed him to do.
Right.
He didn't have the freedom, and that's the thing. I think people love to say don't compare eras, but I think sometimes you have to talk about eras because McGrady never had the freedom. Drexler never had the freedom like McGrady. McGrady had the freedom to handle the rock, do whatever he wanted, pass, shoot, whatever.
Right.
Drexler, you had a point guard in Porter. You had a big man that still had to touch the ball sometimes, and Duckworth. So that's why I say, and to me, I think that with Wade, you look at Wade, the fact that he had Shaq later on, Gary Payton, but for him, as young as he was, to still dominate, and he did.
And Lamar Odom, he did have some decent games, with Miami as well.
I don't know, man, but look.
Pretty decent.
You're right, but look, we got to wrap this segment up. So you said Wade is 4.
If I'm choosing AI as a shooting guard.
We saying so AI is a shooting guard in this.
Yeah, then it's AI, and then Dwayne.
All right, there you have it. I have Wade number 3, but I guess this will be ongoing.
Yes.
We're going to be right back to get into some NBA playoffs with Mr. Joe Cortez. We'll be right back.
Point guard for the Atlanta Dream, and I listen to Mr. Controversy on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
What it is, what it ain't. This your boy Sherm, host of Face the Music. Join me every Wednesday night for Power Hour, where we intersect the worlds of sports and music, and we do it the best way we can, which is on a Sherm beat. So if you're ready to come through, catch some realness, vibe to some dope sounds, tune in to Face the Music every Wednesday on the 3 Point Conversion station. Let's get it.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3 Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Yeah, man, Mr. Controversy here with my man Horace from SRT. What's going on, sir?
You already know. Man, trying to convince y'all about AI, man. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, let me say this, though. Let me say this.
You saw how AI looked at him, when Dwayne Wade, in game 2,
right.
When Dwayne looked at him, AI say, you're not going to have a good game the next game. And he went for 8 points.
I told y'all the other day.
You're right.
One out of 4 games.
1 out of 4 games. Game 5, he go explode again, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So my man Horace, real quick.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this man. When I tell you, you ever have that sports fan that you know that just knows sports for no reason? Like he know everything. Luge, what else? Everything.
Equestrian.
All that stuff.
Water polo.
Knowing the stats and guys' history. He worse than G. You know what I'm saying? And G know everything. G be knowing stats from Pee Wee League, with Barry Sanders.
Well, hold on. G is a celebrity. He was on what was the name of the show?
Stump the Schwab.
Yeah, he was on Stump the Schwab.
What?
Yeah. See, you didn't even know.
Wow.
Come on.
And you know what? And I bet you he was, when they asked him the question, he was like, well, he scored 45 points and he did this and all that. No.
Yeah, he was on Stump the Schwab.
All right, but anyway, let's get on to this NBA playoffs. We have to welcome in, who's not a guest because he's been here so many times. He's the 3 Point correspondent. My older cousin, as I call him, Mr. Joe Cordes. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, good to be here, guys.
Yes, sir. So, look, man, we definitely got to jump into this right now, the playoffs. Last night, we saw the not Milwaukee Bucks. We saw them blow out Boston, but we saw the Indiana Pacers defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, it's going to be so much talk about, is Cleveland done? What's going on with them? Is it a wrap? Tell us what you think. Should we panic, or they're just up 2-1? If Cleveland wins, won't it be 2-2?
I think it's time to start worrying for sure. I don't know if we're at panic stage yet because we know what the Cavaliers still are capable of. But in all 3 of these games, you look at a lot of the key stats, whether it's number of shots in the game, about the shooting percentage, rebounding, the turnover differential, they're all so even. It means that the Indiana Pacers for 3 games now have played Cleveland straight up to a draw. And even though Cleveland's only down by 1 game, they haven't been able to get any sort of edge on them. And I think a lot of people have underestimated Indiana all year long, myself included. We all did that to the Toronto Raptors as well. Those were 2 of the teams in the Eastern Conference playoff picture that just didn't get a lot of respect. We looked at Indiana and said, all right, they don't have enough star power. Sure, it's a nice ensemble cast, and Victor Oladipo's playing like an all-star, but they're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs. And yet they've been able to play together. They were the aggressor again last night. They were at home. They were down big, and yet they just kept fighting, scraping back into it. And the Cleveland Cavaliers cannot stop people from getting to the rim. That's been their problem all year long. They've been a bottom 5 defense. They let you get to the tin, the defense collapses, and then you can start to rain down 3-pointers on them.
Wow. Yeah, I guess we have to worry.
Hey, Joe, this Horace, thanks for joining us. Speaking of playoffs, we saw the 76ers coming to the playoffs hot, winning 16, 17 straight games, and then and they was playing without Embiid. Then he kind of trolled his way into the starting lineup on in the third game, and they continued their flow of the game, and they also had a victory. In your opinion, who is more important to the Sixers, Embiid or Simmons?
Man, that's an awesome question. I'm going to go Embiid over the long haul just because he is such a focal point that you have to scheme around him completely. And by doing so, Ben Simmons is not only going to find him, but he's going to find everybody else. But I can't take anything away from Simmons either because he was able to keep that ship headed in the right direction while Embiid was out. It's a testament to the rest of the Sixers as well. That's the mark of a really good ball club with a lot of great chemistry when you can lose your best player, keep rolling without him, then he comes back and you reintegrate him seamlessly. It's a testament to Joel Embiid, too, that he was able to see how they were playing, fit right back in. He was aggressive when he needed to be, but he wasn't stealing shots or stealing touches from guys who were hot either. Dario Saric still got to eat. You know, Marco Bellinelli's been amazing for them off the bench. Redick's been really solid for them, too. Robert Covington's been great. You can't say enough about that whole team.
Right, I agree.
Now, well, first of all, we're here live with Mr. Joel Cortez, the three-point conversion correspondent, NBA correspondent, that is. And, Joe, I want to go into the West now. I want to talk about the Pelicans, but basically I want to hit on the playoffs, what they're doing now, and how they're scoring. They're scoring. I think they scored over 120, I think all three times maybe, or at least two. With this team playing the way they're playing, and then you have DeMarcus Boogie Cousins on the bench, would this be a problem? Are they a better team without him since the ball is flowing, or should they still try to go ahead and sign him?
I think they definitely should re-sign him. Keep in mind that he was putting up MVP numbers alongside Anthony Davis, who was doing the same when they were together, and the Pelicans hovered around 500 most of that time. Cousins will loaf on defense from time to time. He'll kind of pick and choose when he wants to really compete on that end. But the Pelicans had a lot of chemistry that they needed to make up. They had not found shooting yet. They really hadn't kind of rallied around Rajon Rondo, who's been just setting up their role players into great shots. Drew Holiday was transitioning to be their two guard. So there was a lot in flux. And Boogie Cousins is the better player than Nikola Mirotic, but they both bring a lot to the floor in that they can stretch the floor for Anthony Davis. They can run pick and rolls either with him or with the guards. Mirotic has been better than advertised on defense. Both of those guys can score inside. So you just want more of that good stuff. If you bring back Boogie Cousins, then you can run him with Anthony Davis for times. You can run them separately, and you put Mirotic next to both of those guys throughout the game. It's really going to be a good thing for them.
Hey, that's a great breakdown. I want to actually go to the Portland team, Joe. As we've seen Portland over the last 3 years, we've seen them lose Aldridge. McCollum has come alive to be somewhat of a superstar or a star, and then you've seen Portland sign a lot of bad contracts as well. Now, since Lillard and CJ is the kind of the go-to, and they're kind of missing a wing, if they get swept in this series, do you think it's time to break that up in Portland?
I think they'll look long and hard about that front line, including those wings. Part of this is a matchup problem.
Right.
It's because Anthony Davis has been so good that Josef Nurkic, the starting center, he's too slow to guard Davis.
Right.
But then when you put Nurkic out, guarding Mirotic, then he's stuck hovering around the three-point line. He can't get rebounds. You put Al-Farouq Amino or Maurice Harkless on Davis, they're too small. So it's just a really bad matchup for Portland, and the fact that Lillard and McCollum both have gotten off to slow starts in all three games. They pick it up in the second half. Portland, drags himself back into the game a little bit more, but it's too little too late. So the question is always going to be, can you have two superstar guards like that and not much else on the front line, or do you have to trade one of them and try to rebalance things out? I think Portland, knowing that they're probably not going to be a huge player in free agency, keeps that duo together, but they're going to continue to cycle through their role players until they find something up front.
But look, I want to stay on that because I've been hearing a lot of people say McCollum needs to leave. He can't win. He won't win in Portland. Me personally, I disagree with that. I think they're one player away. I mean, this is the league of 3 and more, as far as superstars. What is your thought on that?
The difficulty with those two is that neither is a lockdown defender. Both of them have improved defensively over the last couple of years, but the best they're going to give you is to be a neutral from game to game, and they're amazing offensively. But you look at some of the other two-guard lineups around the league that are superstar pairings. You look at Steph and Klay Thompson. Klay is definitely the defender out of that group, and Steph is pretty decent most of the time. Chris Paul and James Harden. Harden has gotten better defensively over the last couple of years, and Chris Paul has been an all-NBA defender most of his career. John Wall and Brad Beal, both of those guys are above average defenders on most nights. And you can find that pairing, when you go throughout most of the league. So it's very difficult when you've got two guys who can be a minus. That's why they've got to play Aminu and Harkless together, because those are 3-and-D guys, but they don't give you a lot offensively. And then Nurkic has been very effective for them all year, but this is a horrible matchup for him trying to chase Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
right. No, I definitely agree. And I guess one more question to ask is the West right now. I think the East is so, we talked about this, me and Horace, you don't know who, because there's no really dominant team. You say Toronto, they're dominant, I guess, if Cleveland doesn't make it. But in the Western Conference, we didn't expect the Pelicans to do this. Then you look at OKC, right now, is it still looking like it's going to end up Houston, Golden State, or do you think with the Pelicans playing the way they playing, Curry's out, do you think somebody could get upset? Could something be shaken?
My money is still on Golden State and Houston. I think New Orleans certainly can give Golden State a series. They've met each other the last couple of years now in the playoffs. New Orleans is stronger, and like you said, they're rolling. But a lot of those matchup advantages that they have over Portland go away when they've got to play Golden State. Anthony Davis now is going to have to do a whole lot more defensively. He's going to be the one who's got to chase Kevin Durant too many times on switches, and then you're going to have to hide him on Draymond Green. It just, the whole scope of that changes quite a bit, and now you're asking Rajon Rondo to be a lockdown defender too, because Golden State has so many good guards that he's got to chase. In the other matchup, can Oklahoma City beat Houston? I think they can. I've said that all year, that if Oklahoma City is rolling, they can beat anybody. The problem is, can they do that for 6 games or 7 games, whatever it's going to take? I don't see that happening. I think both New Orleans and Oklahoma City, if they advance, they can take a couple of games. I think if Utah advances, they can take a couple of games against Houston. But that's the beauty of the 7-game series. The better team usually wins, and Houston and Golden State are definitely still the 2 best teams in the West.
Yep.
All right. There you have it. My man, Mr. Joel Cortez. You can follow him on Twitter at @BBallJoel. Once again, that's at @BBallJoel. Sir, we thank you for coming on, man. It's been great to have you. And sure enough, we know we're going to have you on soon because the playoffs are still going on. But we appreciate you, and you have a great and wonderful weekend.
Hey, you guys keep doing your thing. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mike Patton, a.k.a. The General. And on my Saturday mornings, I got my feet kicked up, chilling, listening to my boys, The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, ripping in the lounge.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Having a good time. Another beautiful Saturday. Here with my man Horace. G is on the ones and twos. It's another great day, man. And we're about to really get into it because right now, this segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Purchase your apparel today exclusively at facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC.
I need to get me a t-shirt.
Oh yeah. That
I gotta get me a t-shirt for that.
Because we got a lot of suckers out here. But anyway,
Woo! I gotta get a t-shirt for that one.
Yeah, bruh. You hear that, Sucker Free? But anyway, this segment right here is called What's on Our Mind, and it's that segment. If this is your first time here, and I know I got a few people that hadn't heard the show, this is that segment where, we get some stuff off our chest. We don't understand, something is going on, or maybe it's something that is just bothering us. Let me holler at y'all for a second. So, this is what's going on my mind. So, like we talked about earlier, with the Justice Winslow situation where he stepped on the mask and the NBA fined him. So, this is what I want to say about that. It doesn't make sense to me, just for the simple fact that why is he getting, what did he do to Joel Embiid? He didn't do anything to him. He didn't say anything to him. He just stepped on the mask. Why does that have anything to do with the league? You know what I'm saying? That's like saying if somebody's shoe fell off, just to get an advantage, you grab the shoe and you throw it into the stands just so he doesn't have a shoe. You fine him for that? Which makes me think about where the league is today. And I could hear, shout out to Mike Patton, Sports Awakening, because I can hear him saying, here we go with the Get Off My Lawn segment. But it just makes me think about basketball played today. And to me, it has that AAU feel. The AAU feel where you want to protect the stars, which I understand. It's the NBA. And the fact that, you got your Jordans or you got your MBs, you got your Steph Currys. But when it comes to playoff, it's certain teams that can't play in the playoffs because they're not built for it. Not just skill-wise, but mentally. So when you get into the playoffs, the physicality is going to raise. It's going to get heated because you're playing a team multiple times in a short span of time. But if it get to a point where it's a push-off, that's a technical foul. Right then, you've stepped in and you've changed the game. Because this can be a superstar, a leader, or somebody important. It doesn't matter. Because they were pushing. And I'm not talking about pushing to the point they're about to throw blows. No, I'm talking about, man, just get off me. You get off me, and that's it, and they keep running. That's a technical foul. That's not basketball, man. That's not, basketball wasn't meant for that. To me, yes, it's about your skill set, but I think we look at the winners and superstars, mentally, they were strong. You couldn't touch them. Look at John Stockton, the shortest he was. John Stockton, he was that guy. He was dirty, tough. He never complained. Get back up, dust himself off, and make that pass to Malone. That's what it was. It if you, like I said, people say, oh, you can't compare eras, but no. Going back and I think about when Jordan had to go against the Bad Boys and all of those times when they knocked Jordan down, Jordan was getting up, making sure he wasn't bleeding. Sometimes he would fight back, sometimes he wouldn't. But when Jordan finally got over that is when he knew, hey, y'all can't break me. When Pippen got over that, you cannot break me. You can hit, push hard. I'm going to get back in your face and get up and score and do whatever I need to do. And that's when they became champions. Then next thing you know, they couldn't be stopped. But if you look at all of the champions that went through the conference finals and lost the year before or prior and then made it, because mentally they got better. They got stronger. And I think when you take away the physicality from the playoffs and from the game, then you're messing with basketball because you're taking that away. And that's what's on my mind.
Man. You had a lot on your mind.
I just it just bothers me, man. I can't deal with that, man. I mean, and then with the entertainment factor, that was we loved that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was to see them going at it. I mean, you remember that series? I'm gonna let you go. You remember that series, the Bulls Cleveland series, the year when Rose first got hurt.
Right.
Or the second year when Rose was out and when Jimmy Butler was like barely the leader. I mean, but they beat Cleveland. I think the second game or the first game of the series, and the Miami won. And then from there, remember they didn't shake hands. The third game, they didn't shake hands before the game. Like you were like, oh, I can't wait. This is, but now they've taken that away.
Too friendly. All right, what I got on my mind is I'm gonna stick to this basketball theme that you got going on, and I appreciate you kind of leading me into that. And what I got on my mind is, Coach Bud, stop being butthurt. Your first week on the job for the Atlanta Hawks, you led by example by getting a DUI. Danny Ferry put together a team for you, and you coached them to 60 wins. Danny Ferry gets fired. You take over the decision making, and we hadn't seen 50 wins since. You got too close to the players and didn't get nothing fatigued. You signed Dwight Howard without even signing your own Al Horford first, at least consulting with him. So you got nothing for Al Horford. You let DeMar Carroll go to Toronto. I guess that was a good move. We still don't know what we got for Millsap. I know it was something, but I don't know what. Exactly, G. That's my point.
I thought it was nothing.
Yeah, it was a three-way trade, but again, you signed Dennis Schroeder 2 years too early. And then you say, well, you know what? After the Hawks took his decision-making away, he butt hurts and goes and says that I want to interview for a job back home. Now reports comes out and says, well, he's withdrawn his interest in the Phoenix Suns. Well, the Phoenix Suns is no better than the Hawks at this point. So now he's interviewing for the New York Knicks job. Then reports that he's going to interview for the Milwaukee Bucks job. There is nothing that Coach Bud has done in a decision-making position that has helped the Hawks in any kind of way other than granting the three-point conversion and Sports Roundtable an interview. That's it. That's it. So, Coach Bud, stop being butthurt.
Hey, let me say this. The funny thing about that is, it had to be something when this is horrible. When he came to the office and he asked, the general manager or the president, hey, I want to know if I can go interview for this Phoenix job. I want to go back home. Oh, sure, go ahead. Yeah, we good. And when he left the room, they was giving out high fives. Man, thank God this joker. I didn't think this joker was gonna ask. Like, why were they so? I mean, that report came out quick. It usually Coach Bud. Yes, and the Hawks said it was good.
Do you think they're being too polite by like letting him take these interviews and not firing him?
They're calling the teams like, look, he's a great motivator. He does this. Like they're pumping him
They
up.
want the compensation for him because he's still under contract.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does have 2 years left.
Yeah. So if he leaves, they get a pick.
When this joker was leaving, the GM was helping him tie his tie and fixing the tie. Yeah. So go ahead, man. Have a great interview. Giving him pointers. Come on, man.
Exactly.
So that lets you know you've been to a couple of games. We cover the games.
Right.
You can tell. I mean, now one thing I will say, Bud had them players playing. They were playing hard for Bud, know. But you could tell though that he knew it was kind of the end. And I don't know I don't know if that's because of how bad he was doing, because he doesn't have anything. To me, he never had anything. But is it because he knows how the system works? Usually, non-professional sports, if you're in a rebuilding year and you notice you're in a rebuilding year, that coach is gone too. And I'm wondering if he thinks that's what's going to happen.
The problem is this, and I said this Wednesday on the show. You brought in a guy who spent 16 to 17 years with Popovich in San Antonio. You took his decision-making privileges away to bring in a guy from Golden State.
Right.
Two different philosophies.
Right.
That's not going to mesh.
No.
Travis, whatever his name, Slink, whatever, Slink. I think he did him a favor by just keeping him to kind of say, okay, well, we'll give you a chance, and yada, yada, yada. But, but this and that. But as you see Brett Brown in Philly, coming from that San Antonio tree, he's doing well. He's doing well, but, that says that the San Antonio tree is out there. But when you look at the Golden State Warriors, everybody's trying to emulate what they've done.
Yeah, right. I just don't think that he's had enough talent though. But I mean,
he's made that decision though because he had the decision making.
Yeah, well,
and there it is. It's just like saying just like saying, well, why is Cleveland struggling? Well, because of LeBron, not because he's playing, because he the one made the decision.
But do you think it's really? Because think about it. Even when he had a decision, they were still like the Hawks of when Woody had them. I mean, it was still you had 18 small forwards. Everybody played the same. You didn't have. I mean, was that really Coach Bud, or was it up top telling them this is what you can do in the air? You can't do this. We don't.
It was a perfect fit because Danny Ferry came from that San Antonio tree too. So Danny Ferry made these decisions to help Bud because he knew the system and they knew the philosophy, so it worked well together.
And the problem is, if Danny Ferry, I ain't gonna say that. We're gonna go to commercial. I'm about to say, if he would have waited 7 more years when the cops start killing us, he might have stayed. Anyway, Let me go, man. We're about to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
WWE AM 1100. The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's going on, world? This your boy Vincent J, aka the Fantasy Guru. And do you know what time it is? It's time for the Stop It segment right here on the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I want to thank everyone who is listening live right now, following us, whether it's Facebook Live or listening to 1100 AM in Atlanta or iTunes, iHeart, radio, is it Radio Now? Whatever.
Radio Now.
iRadio Now.
iRadio Now. Okay, iRadio Now. All of that. If y'all listening to the app, which is 1100 AM, just look for that, the real. You will see it. But we appreciate all of you all. And I definitely want to give a special shout out right now to Miss April Rogerson, who is in Chris's chair right now at Seneca's Barbershop getting a haircut. We want to thank her for listening as well. You don't see me, but I see you. But anyway, it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it. All right, I'm gonna let my man Horace go first. What is your stop it moment, sir?
LeBron James bought everybody suits last night. They had some new uniforms. So the new uniform, I guess these are pregame uniforms with the capris, the boots, and all these things.
And that purse.
Yeah, that all the male purse and all this other kind of stuff. And the video that we see was, you're not getting back on defense. LeBron James.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, it was funny because when they, before the game, you saw them come in. You're like, oh snap! They want to kill him.
Yes.
And then they come in and play like that.
Yeah.
So I think when they walked off, they were getting the plane. I think the coach made them take off the suits and wear the.
They showed them all in the locker room.
Yeah, man. It was
look at the suit, but they.
Do you think they burned them like Denzel did in American Gangster?
Yep.
And they should have. And the problem is, and another thing is, LeBron, yes, you do need to throw your teammates under the bus because J.R. Smith had no business taking the last shot. Let's be real. LeBron, you do what I say. Throw the ball to George Hill. He's open.
You stupid, man.
Come on, man.
All right, man. So, look, Dennis, the intellectual, sent in a stop it himself. And his stop it goes to Adidas. So, what happened was Adidas came out and said, we would love to sign Kaepernick if he signs with another team. Stop it. Bruh, with what's going on right now, you all could be big if y'all just endorsed him right now. Because Kaepernick's hot. I mean, you got a lot of Kaepernick followers. But they'll let you know, like, why would you wait? That is, if he signs, we will sign. Come on, man.
We talked about this Wednesday.
Come on. So, my stop it. I'm gonna give you two.
There you go.
Two quick ones. The first one, I'm gonna give it up to. Well, let me start by saying this. So, Terry Rozier, the Boston Celtics guard, he was. They was asking him questions, after the game. I think it was game 2, or after game 1. And Rozier they asked him about Bledsoe. And, he was like Drew Bledsoe. You know how I go with sometimes when you say Drew Bledsoe. Right. I mean, you trying to say Eric Bledsoe. That might just slip in your mind. You say Drew. Right. I don't think he meant it.
It means he went on his mind.
Yeah, he was just whatever. He was talking, So, game 2, Terry Rozier killed him in both games. And they were talking to Eric Bledsoe. And they was like, so what do you think about Terry Rozier and what he's been doing? And Bledsoe said, who? He's like, Terry Rozier. Who? I don't even know who that is. Boy, he the dude that just gave you 30 points. And
Stop it.
Well, he almost made me get in trouble.
That means he fell asleep during the film session or something.
Or in the game, too. Because he didn't do anything either. So, but then my last stop it. So my man, Shannon Sharp, that's my dude. But Shannon Sharp said, bless his heart, was talking about Jordan, said nobody talks about Michael Jordan. He lost, what did he say? He lost, I think it was 3 times in the first round. 3 times in the first round, 3 times in the second round, twice in the conference finals. That matters. It almost seems like all Jordan did was play in the NBA finals. No, he did not. He played 15 years in the NBA. Give him a stop it. The reason why I'm giving him a stop it, because he talks about LeBron James constantly.
Right.
Mike has 6. How can you talk about somebody who has 6 rings and then you want to bring up LeBron? He goes to the finals every year, but he only has 3. Like, we understand LeBron is good, Shannon, and everybody else. I get it. I'm with that dude, what he did last night, how he was coming back. Let's just, let Mike be Mike and let LeBron just be LeBron. Why you go? What was the point of bringing that up when he has 6 rings? After all of that, he still has 6 rings.
Still got 6 rings.
LeBron been to the finals 28 times, but he only has 3.
At the end of the day, he got 6. Because there's some people in the world that went bankrupt 4 or 5 times, got their car repossessed, but by the time they reach 40, they're millionaires.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, what does it matter? I got 6 rings.
I thought you were going to say, and they can become president.
Right.
No, never that.
But right now, his boy went to 8 finals in a row, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
MVP 3 times. He did this and did that. He's down 2-1 to a garbage team.
Lance Stevenson is his kryptonite.
Yeah. And that's horrible because Lance Stevenson is garbage. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with Battlegrounds. What up, Lance? Lance is a cool dude, though, man. I met him at the game. Real cool, though, man.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the 3-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The 3-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
This is The Real 1100 AM. More sports, more music, more things that matter. Giving you more of The Real.
You're back inside the 3 Point Convergence Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And, every time I hear this music, man, just this should be the What's on My Mind segment. You know what I'm saying? Remind me of that time, long time ago. I'll be out.
Yeah, Coach Bud still would have got it.
Oh, my God. All right, so before we get in this battleground, we talk about LeBron a lot, man, and we mess with him. And I used to be one of those guys that, you know what I'm saying, not that I hated him, but I just couldn't, because he was against the Bulls. But I respect his game now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that, I think everybody else should. All this people slamming on him because, like I said, the media did this. I know I'm a part of the media. I know how it is. But I just think right now we just need to kill that. Just watch some basketball. That's all I got to say. Can we just watch basketball?
But LeBron got to stop crowning himself.
No, right.
Patting himself on the back. He creates lots of this.
Yeah, he did.
Look,
I'm the best player.
I am king on this shoe.
Yeah. I'm the best player.
You don't need. I know you from Chicago. Have you ever seen Jordan?
Nope. You don't even got to say it. No.
Okay. So,
all right. So
we
leave it like that. All right. So now it is time for Battlegrounds. It is the championship. Can't wait, man. Like I said, some money on the line. We doing it small right now. It's the first time, but you know what I'm saying. We're going to throw in, some money, and we got a T-shirt as well for them. So let's get it started. First off, we got to bring in my man, Mr. Danny Thompson. What's going on, Danny?
Hey, what's up, Raptor? What's up, fellas? It's time to get my championship. Let's go.
What's up, man? Hey, do your thing, man.
Yes, sir. And then the next contestant is Mr. Damian Adams. What's going on, Damian?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Just happy to be on the show again. My car needs gas. I'm definitely trying to get this gift card right now.
There you go. What's up, Damian?
All right, so if this is your first time listening, this is how Battleground goes. So we have 3 rounds. Each round, we're going to ask one question. The first contestant goes first, and they'll have 30 seconds to answer, to come up with their answer, if they need it or not, but they have 30 seconds to come up with the answer. Then after that, they get 2 minutes to go ahead and answer the question, not only answer, but go ahead and give their argument on why their answer is right, or whoever they pick, whether it's a team, player, whatever. After that, the next contestant goes automatically. He just comes in. Next round, it flip-flops. The contestant that went second goes first. He has 30 seconds to come up with his answer. And then he has 2 minutes to argue his point and his answer. And then the next contestant comes in. It goes like that for 3 rounds. It's not just about the answer, but it's the argument as well. So keep that in mind. It's the argument as well. I need your votes. Everybody, you have to get in touch with me. If you're listening with Horace, get in touch with him. He'll let me know. Let me know who you think won. Again, this is very important. All right? So, Danny, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 20.
11. 15.
Dang. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, Danny, the number was 2. Danny's like undefeated when it comes to picking. Wow, man. Are you kicking off or are you going to receive, Danny?
We closing the show, so Dan takes the ball first.
Okay. All right. Damien, you up first. Let's cue this music. All right. First question. Name a former NBA non-superstar that would be a superstar in today's era since 1990. I'm going to ask that question one more time. Name a former NBA non-superstar that would be a superstar in today's era since 1990. Damien, you have 30 seconds to come up with your answer. And of course, you all that's listening, first time listening, you want to do this, we will start back, I think, within the next month. Let me know, and we will definitely get you in the pool. The prize probably would be bigger. Sorry, gentlemen. But a lot of people say they could do it, but a lot of people fail. I'm just saying, come with your A game. These two, they came with their A game. That's why they're here. It's no joke. Damn, you have 15 seconds, sir.
I am ready.
All right. Let's go now.
Now, this guy I'm about to name was a superstar in college, but was not a superstar in the NBA. Didn't make an all-star team. And I think he should have made an all-star team when he was in the league. But I think he played today. He would definitely be a star. He was a 6'8" point guard and was the leading scorer on the 2000 Indiana Pacers who made it to the finals. I'm talking about Jalen Rose. It wasn't Reggie Miller who led them in scoring. It was Jalen Rose who led the team into the finals in scoring and still wasn't considered a superstar. And then for some reason he got traded to the Baby Bulls and his career kind of derailed from there. His numbers didn't. When he was on the Bulls, you noticed, Mr. Controversy, he was out there averaging over 20 points a game. Now, the team wasn't good. He was surrounded by a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys. Didn't have those guys around him. But a guy today at 6'8", with the ball skills he had, look at the way we go all over Ben Simmons. He's only 2 inches shorter than Ben Simmons and can do everything Ben Simmons could do and score outside the paint. Jalen Rose would be a superstar today with all the skills that he had. Think about the shooting, the passing, could play decent defense as well. So I'm going with Jalen Rose as a guy who would be a superstar in today's game.
All right. Danny, you up next. Let's go now.
Well, you look at a guy right now that plays in the NBA that's considered a superstar. His name is Kyrie Irving. But if you go back a little bit further, there's a guy who taught him pretty much everything he knows. That's his godfather, Rod Strickland. Rod Strickland was one of the most underrated point guards in the history of the NBA. Why? Remember, he was drafted by the Knicks right behind Mark Jackson. So you know he didn't get the minutes that he was deserving in the very beginning. He ended up playing for about 6 or 7 different teams. But just go back to his best season, where he averaged almost 19 points a game, almost 9 assists. He also had 9 assists a game, I think about 5 or 6 seasons while he was in the NBA. You look at ball handling and the ability to get to the basket and get to the rim, Rod had that. Why did Kyrie get his game from? Because Rod had the street game already on lock. He was actually a better shooter than most people give credit for. Pretty much inside the 2-point range. He was right around 48 to 49% per season. The 3-point game was a little bit non-existent, but who shot 3-pointers back in the days where he played? Strickland was one of those guys that just pretty much got everybody involved and had low turnover numbers. When I say low turnovers for a point guard back in his day, around 2.7 to about 3 assists a game, or 3 turnovers a game for a point guard. He played solid defense, averaged over 1.5 steals a game throughout his entire career, but also averaged almost 7.5 assists a game. That's back in the days when point guards were actually truly relevant. So nowadays, when you have scoring point guards, Rod Strickland was the perfect combination of both scoring, assist, and play solid defense. So in this day and age, because Rod Strickland was not considered a superstar back in his day, right now he'd be one of the top 5 point guards in the NBA.
All right, man, you just made it 2 minutes. All right, that's round 1. That's how we doing it. Round 2, Danny, you up first. Danny, you go second. Name the biggest upset in any sports since 1990. Not named Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson. Any game, including the New England Patriots and the Denver Nuggets versus Seattle Supersonics in the playoff series. I'm going to ask that one more time. Name the biggest upset in any sport since 1990, not named Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson, any game including the New England Patriots and the Denver Nuggets versus Seattle Supersonics. Danny, you have 30 seconds. Yes, sir. We asking questions like that right now. So broad, but you got to pick the right one. That's how we do it, man. Everybody want to call me out to say they want me to do this Battlegrounds. Y'all don't want me, man. I'm the creator. You know what I'm saying? Probably that's why I don't do it. Yes, I love silence. I mean the thinking. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Let's go now.
If you go back in college football back in the day, there's a reason why current teams today do not play smaller schools. Let's go back to 2007. Michigan at home at the Big House, 27-point favorites against Appalachian State. Little bitty Appalachian State because they're from my neck of the woods in Boone, North Carolina. I remember watching App State in college. One of my close friends went to App State. They were pretty much left for dead. Michigan had one of the top offense, the top defense in the country. And what happened? Appalachian State not only went to the Big House and punched the Wolverines in the mouth, they won 34-32. So now, if you look at it about 11 years later, there's a reason why Division I or FCS schools will not play the smaller schools because of stuff like this. What did Michigan have to gain for this game? Absolutely nothing. What did Appalachian State did? They were on the national spotlight for 2 weeks, which propelled them to a deep run in the NCAA Division II playoffs that year, or Division I AA playoffs, how you want to call it at the time. So what the biggest upset is, it's also one of the most transitioning upsets in the history of sports. It's Appalachian State beat Michigan. Because why? Smaller schools don't play bigger schools in college football. Down south now, ask UCF the same question.
All right. Damien, it is on you. Let's go now.
I'm going to go NCAA basketball for my game. And when you think about the name of this college, it don't even sound like a college. I'm talking about George Mason. Right now, George Mason back in 2006 made the Final Four as a team that was an 11 seed, right? And no one knew about this team. They had players in their team like 6'5" playing center. And to get to the Final Four, they had to beat the number 1 seed UConn Huskies. One of the biggest upsets in history, because like I said, with George Mason, nobody knew who was on their team. UConn, you had a star-studded squad of players who went to the NBA later. With George Mason, you had guys who was going to try out to play tight end in football and guys who was going to go be an accountant the next week. And they came into the stadium and beat UConn. Crazy upset in overtime. Remember the game like it was yesterday. George Mason over UConn is one of the best upsets of all time.
All right. That concludes round 2. This might decide the winner. Round 3. Here we go. Damien, you up first. Danny, you up second. Please, you all, I need your votes after this. Barbershop, Seneca's Barbershop, all of you all. Not just one. I need each individual vote. And don't come at me talking about, I don't know, I need your vote. Everyone else, message me, I need your vote. Round 3, which Mike decided the whole thing. Here's a question. Name the most underrated player in the NFL since 1990. I'm going to ask that question again. That's it. Name the most underrated player in the NFL who's played in the NFL since 1990. Damien, you have 30 seconds. So I say, man, I love that silence, bro. I mean, that mind is going. And when they be like, all right, I'm ready, that means I ain't do my job with a question. So... I might have to get G to do this next season. See what he do.
Go ahead and pencil my name in for it.
Okay, all right. You hear that? David, you have 15 seconds.
I am ready.
All right, let's go now.
All right, so I'm going to go with this player as most underrated because he played alongside so many great players that he gets overshadowed. I'm talking about Mr. Reggie Wayne. Shout out to Marrero, Louisiana, from my hometown. And this guy has some of the greatest stats in NFL history. But because he played with Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James, he gets overlooked. You look at this guy's stats, man. He had over 1,000 yards for 7 consecutive seasons. Had over 1,500 yards in 2007. That's straight up bananas. Getting over 13 yards per reception for his career. That means this man was out there going deep, getting the passes, coming back, getting the passes. Excellent route runner. Somebody who had all the fundamentals down as one as a wide receiver. And he doesn't get the credit he deserves because he had those greats alongside him. But without him, Marvin Harrison doesn't get the single coverage to make him great. Peyton Manning doesn't have so many options to make him look great. Reggie Wayne is definitely one of the most underrated receivers of all time, and that's why I'm going with him for my answer right there.
All right. Danny, you up next. Let's go now.
Now, Raph, you might be upset with me with this one, but I'm going to go with somebody that is underrated. Why is he underrated? Because he played on a defense that featured Hall of Famer Reggie White and also had a quarterback as a Hall of Famer by the Brett Favre. But let's talk about the man who invented the Lambeau Leap himself, Mr. Leroy Butler. Butler played the safety game better than anybody else in the league at the time in the early 90s. He was always roaming around the field, always known for making plays. I mean, besides the Lambeau Leap, which is now synonymous, go look at the statue outside. Sorry, Raphael. But at the same time, his numbers are always out there. He covered receivers, 38 career interceptions. He also sacked quarterbacks, also made solo tackles. He was all over the field. Leroy Butler, in his time, was what Earl Thomas was now. What Ed Reed was in his day, Leroy Butler was in the very beginning. We're talking playmaking safeties that pretty much changed games. Leroy Butler did that, but he did it with such a calm and quiet demeanor. He wasn't flashy. He didn't walk around hitting people all day long. What he did was he did it with numbers. And not to mention, he did it in a town that embraced him because Green Bay is nothing but a small town. So a guy with a small attitude in a small town doesn't get the recognition, but he showed it on the field. So my most underrated player I can think of is Leroy Butler in the NFL.
All right. That concludes the Battlegrounds Championship. Who are you going with? Let us know. It's a tough one. Great answers. Great answers. I need your votes. If you're on Facebook Live, you're listening, you can get on Facebook Live. Let me know your votes. If you know me personally, message me, DM me. Barbershop, I'm coming up there. I need that. Other barbershops, let us know. If you know Horace, let him know. Gary, Crystal, G, I need y'all votes later on. Not on the mic, but I need y'all votes. Anyway, we're going to go over to the contestants. We're going to first talk to Mr. Danny Thompson. What's going on, Danny, man? Great battle, man. Let everybody know where they can find you and follow you, man.
Hey, man, follow me on social media at NBADT29. Also, follow the page around the association. I'm doing a nightly podcast after the playoffs. And, big shout out to my main man, Damian Adams. Good, this battle was way better than I had in the past, Raph, when we did the podcast.
Yep.
Just to tell you something.
Yep. All right. And Damian, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for a great battle. Let everybody know where they can find you and follow you, sir.
Yes, I definitely got to thank you guys for having me on. I definitely appreciate the opportunity. Danny, man, that was a great battle. I'm over here sweating, and the AC is on. Like, it was crazy. But you guys can follow me at The Real Deal, WDA. That's on all social media platforms. And listen to The Real Deal with Damian Adams on the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio, all right? Definitely a great show. You guys should check it out.
All right. Yes, it is. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Marcus Banks to the Big Three of the Ghost Ballers. You're listening to the Sports Lounge with my main man, Mr. Controversy.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now. You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Samsung, Windows phones, or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com or your app store.
Sit back with me, the baseball antagonist. Pull up your favorite chair, grab a drink, and listen as Mr. Controversy helps us relax with his sports knowledge in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, right here on the 3-Point Conversion Station.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy in here bobbing my head. Mr. Horse, what's going on, Horse?
You already know.
That was a great battle, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it, man. Thanks, guys, for putting your talents on the mic. Great battle, great answers. It was pretty deep. It was almost like listening to battle rap.
Yeah, that's the sports version of. See, other people try to other shows and people try to emulate it, but it's different when you telling people. I ain't gonna tell my recipe, but they can't.
I thought I was listening to Charlie Clips versus Arsenal.
Look, they probably can't. Well, they can see them on Facebook Live, but look, I bet you they was on there talking about because. Anyway,
exactly.
All right, it is NFL draft time. It's time to talk some NFL, man.
Next Thursday.
What happens? Everybody wants to know. My biggest question is still, what's going to happen with Saquon? Like, because this situation with the Cleveland Browns that came up with his representative trying to deter him from going there, and then he comes out and says, no, I'm not listening. I'm going to, we're not doing that. Does this mean that he's been hearing from Cleveland? Are they still going with the fourth pick? Now, I did say, I'm going to remind everybody, I said, I'm kind of getting nervous now. So I said, because I think L.A., shout out to L.A., the three-point conversion insider, and L.A. Broaders, that is, and he said that Cleveland were going quarterback first. We're thinking quarterback first, and they think they can snag him up with the fourth pick, Saquon. And I said I would give myself 5 stoppages or a stop at every segment if they do that, because I don't think they're going to do it. I'm kind of getting nervous, man.
Well, I mean, the reports come out now that they may take 2 quarterbacks, first and fourth.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, that would be smart if they're they got to be trading one of them, right, to get more picks. But they might be able to fleece somebody,
right?
Danny Ainge style.
Pick a quarterback up and trade him?
Yeah. If they take 2 quarterbacks and then whatever team is like, hey, I want that one,
right?
Then they can they might fleece them
because they hold all the cards.
Wait, are you saying that or are you hearing that?
Well, I'm saying, I mean, if that's the strategy by taking a quarterback at 1 and 4,
right,
they're trading one of them to get more picks.
So
G saying that.
Let me do this though. Not for you, but let me give Cleveland Browns a stop it because I don't think they're smart enough to do that. So I want to stop it for them.
Stop it.
So what you think, man? So do you? Because that'd be dumb. I mean, why not just trade a pick?
Yeah.
Because what if they renege? We've seen that. We've done it to somebody where the Bears. We were like, all right, yeah, we picked them. We're gonna when they picked them.
It's not clear. It's not clear who they want, and Denver picks at number 5, right? So they might take the person that Denver wants. So they might be able to trade and get Denver's pick and then some other picks.
So that's what I'm saying. Why not trade a pick? Because what if Denver say, you know what? We're not going to do that, and they leave them with 2 quarterbacks. That's such a Cleveland Browns situation that I can see happening.
They feel like they can probably get more if they take the guy that they want. If they know who they want and go ahead and take him. It doesn't make sense because no one does that.
Right.
If you have the pick, you can just trade it and probably get. You can probably get more by just trading the pick, not by drafting the guy first and then trading.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because that's limited.
Right.
Because if you trade the pick, that means they can pick. The options are more.
Yeah, and then what if you pick quarterbacks at 1 and 4? What if you keep the wrong guy?
Right.
But that's so Cleveland Browns. It is. I don't know, man.
They won the offseason, probably arguably. Let's just say that
they're feeling themselves.
Yeah, and with 1 and 4, I mean maybe they take Saquon first, or maybe they just pick up C.J. Anderson because he just got released.
The way that it's looking like they're going to take a quarterback first. That's what it's looking more and more like. They're going to take quarterback first.
I get that,
and then the Giants they're not. I don't think they're going to take Saquon. They're going to take either a quarterback or they're going to take Bradley Chubb.
They need. Well, I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they after trading JPP, they're going to take that defensive end, the game-changing defensive end. That's what they think they have.
Okay, sports guru.
Okay.
Do you think Chubb is worth getting a pick?
Not that high.
Thank you. I mean,
no,
now, and I'm a firm believer. I've always said that I don't think that when you're top 5, I asked a question before, who do you go with? Do you go with the best player on the board or go with a need? I always ask that. And that is a need. But the number 2 pick, when you need a running back, which...
Yeah. I mean, you have you have weapons on offense that if you get a running back, it opens up more of the offense on the offensive side.
That's what
if they had a running back that could make the linebackers come up, do you know how many touchdown Ingrams would have?
Right.
I mean, you got Sterling Shepard, and if Beckham's come back, at his peak, and if I guess Dez joins them, and then you have a red zone target, as well. So I the Giants, this is almost like corporate America.
Yep.
When things make sense, they just don't do it. You know how you hear the thing is, well, they won't do that. It make too much sense.
Right.
And that's pretty much what I bet all Giants fans that just make too much sense to get a running back that we do need. That is a multifaceted running back at that. And he's a kick returner. He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
That's right.
He's been rated the best running back prospect since Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, and Adrian couldn't catch, but yeah. So why? Cleveland would be stupid not to actually pick him if the Giants don't.
Right. If he goes number 4,
that's why they're thinking let's get our quarterback first, and then if Barkley's there at number 4, we'll take him.
Right, and then they can trade Hyde if they want to.
They'll probably keep Hyde.
Yeah, because it's kind of a two running back.
They
league
need an adult
point.
in the backfield.
Yeah. So, okay, now let's stick with the home team with Georgia. I'm not going to get on the Falcons yet, but with Georgia, with Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, where do you think they go?
I think Sony actually goes in the first round. I heard the Eagles want Chubb bad though.
Hey, who else they want? I mean, they got all those running backs. Like, what else do they want? They're trying to get running backs 8 plays each.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I think Chubb is because the guy who came from Miami, he's on his last year of his contract, right?
Yeah, I think he has 1 year left he's on his rookie deal still. And LeGarrette Blount went to Detroit.
Right.
So it wouldn't be surprising if they got a running back.
Yeah, they want Chubb bad from reports.
Philly?
Yeah, from reports that I hear. I heard they want Chubb bad.
I mean, I just Chubb is nice. I like Chubb. I think he, depending on who he goes with, I think he can be that guy, but I don't know, man. But look, we're going to go to a caller. We have a caller calling in. Go ahead and say what's on your mind.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Controversy? This Ab,
What's going on, Ab?
I hear y'all talk about the draft and very Cleveland-like stuff, but the truth of the matter is the Giants hold the key to every other draft pick in this draft. The reason why the Giants, they're talking about they want Sam Darnold is simple. I'm going to say 3 letters to you and tell me if this makes sense. RPO. The Giants, Pat Shermer, he thinks that Sam Darnold has enough athleticism, arm strength, whatever, that he can use that RPO just like Nick Foles did in the playoffs, just like Blake Bortles did for Jacksonville. And he thinks he's going to be able to use his West Coast system with that RPO little enhancement. And he thinks he's going to be able to turn Sam Darnold into the next big thing at quarterback. That's the truth of the matter. If Sam Darnold goes number 1 to Cleveland, the Giants are going to trade their pick. There's no doubt in my mind that's what's going to happen. So, see, the Jets already moved up. They probably messed themselves up. But the Giants hold the key right now. If Sam Darnold goes number 1 to Cleveland, put it in the books. I don't have any real inside information on it, but I can just see the Giants trading that pick right now. I don't see them taking number 2 unless Sam Darnold is there. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Al. What you think?
All right. Yeah, if the Giants wanted to do RPOs, they going to have to wait till Eli get up out of there. So
yeah.
it ain't going to happen next year.
No, because Eli's staying.
Exactly.
But that's why I say
Eli don't miss a game.
No,
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
only if
the coach decides.
Well, what's yeah. But other than that, I'm still mad at that, man. Golly. But
I know he got to stop it.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I think we did stop it for the half of the show for that. But I think that with the Giants, you have to go running back, man. Why not? Especially now, if you don't plan on keeping Eli, okay. But if you plan on keeping Eli, this can save 2 years on Eli's contract. I mean, not contract, but it's 2 years of his career.
They may go quarterback as far as like long term, like have that bridge between Eli and that next guy, rather than let's get a running back now and we'll have 2 more years and we'll worry about a quarterback in 2 more years. A lot of NFL teams are like, if we don't have a quarterback, we're not going to win. So that's like the most important thing. So we have to get a quarterback when we get a chance.
I can see that. I can see your point to that because the way that the running back position has devalued itself. But when you talking to Saquon Barkley, who has been the highest rated running back since Adrian Peterson, and he can do more, that's like you just can't pass on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's you just can't pass on that. So I just it makes too much sense. But hey,
like you said, when it makes too much sense,
they don't do it.
They don't do it. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, man. I know this Wednesday. Shout out to the SRT radio.
Yes, sir. 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out, Sports Roundtable, SRTRadio.com. You already know how it is.
Yes, sir. Definitely be tuning in. I'm just wondering when I'm going to get an invite, man. He don't ask nobody. I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you.
But
I'm just messing with you, man. Look, we're going to take a quick break.
Please, let's hurry up and get to this baseball so I can go on.
Want to lower your rate and payments? Get rid of mortgage insurance or get cash out? Find out about your best refinance options by tuning into the Get Mortgage Fit radio show with Alex Michaels and Carrie Kasem, Monday afternoon at 12 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 p.m., and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., where you'll learn everything you need to know about mortgage loans, today's rates, FHA, VA, and more. Call the Get Mortgage Fit Show on the Real 1100 AM at 800-827-RATE. That's 800-827-RATE, or visit them online at newamericanfunding.com.
What's up? This is Justin Gibbons, defensive back, Montreal Alouettes, and I'm just kicking back listening to that 3-point conversion radio with my boy, Mr. Controversy.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes. We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. No, you're not listening to a replay of the Battlegrounds. We just like the music. So that's what it is. But it's time to go ahead.
Been thumping.
Yeah, G been
He been thumping today. Early morning.
Got his ears on. Got his headphones in one ear.
Yeah,
with his shoulder up.
Absolutely.
Look. So, Major League Baseball fans, this is what time it is right now. We're talking Major League Baseball, and I want to first start off with quickly the Atlanta Braves. They signed Joey Bats, if y'all know Joey Batista, to the minor league. He said he's going to play third baseman for the Braves.
Okay, so the Braves have a reputation of being the keepers of the game.
Right.
So if he flips his bat after a home run, is he going to have to fight his own teammates?
I think they need that type of player. I mean, I know the Braves, like you said, they keep up the game. They won everything. hunky-dory. You know, you have the classic 85-year-old couple still going to the games, watching the games. But I think they need some nastiness.
Well, you know, the only reason they signed Joey Bats is because Anthopoulos, or whatever his name is, used to be the Toronto GM. And he hadn't signed with anybody yet, so I think it was more of a favor, as far as I'm concerned, just to get him back in the game.
Wow.
Just to take a chance on to get him back in the game. Sort of like they did Ryan Howard last year.
Man, I don't know what they were thinking.
You
like,
know.
I think he owed somebody a favor when he did that.
Yeah, he lost a bet or something. But
For
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
So now the Braves also, we heard that Freddie Freeman, he escaped a major injury with that.
Yes.
He got lucky. I mean, everybody was
Yes.
holding their breath. They're saying that the reports came back negative, the MRI, so that's good. And I think he's day-to-day, right?
No, he played last night.
He played? Oh, he came back. Okay.
Is that the same injury as
Yes.
last year?
Hit him in the same spot.
Same spot. Like
Same spot, everything. He just walked off the field and said, look, go ahead, go and get this x-ray done.
Yeah.
He didn't even go to first base.
So somebody, grandmama prayed for him. So we know that.
Yeah, he played last night, actually, and I don't think he got a hit.
But hey, as long as he was in the lineup,
Yeah, he was
that's
in the
all that
lineup.
matters.
He made an error, too, though.
But look, let's get to the topic at hand because, you know, we don't have that much time in this segment.
Yeah.
But did the Yankees, I'm not going to say panic, did they get too happy with what happened last year and sign the wrong player instead of waiting one more year to sign a certain player with the initials of B.H.?
I think this had a favor for a favor written all over it. Derek Jeter, this was a favor to him. Move $300 million off my books. And what better place to do it is to send him to the Yankees. And all the Yankees had to do was say, Derek, no, deal with your own problems. Let him sign somewhere else, move it to somewhere else, and wait on Bryce Harper to become a free agent where you don't have to give up none of your prospects, and Bryce Harper would light up New York. Let's be serious. At this point in time, the Washington Nationals, if they don't win or even get to a World Series this year, let's just be for real. They just done. Their window of opportunity has closed quickly.
Yeah, because I'm tired of the Nationals. They do it every year. They start off real good, and then somewhere, somehow, either they got it. Was it last year they got in or year before last they got in? But usually they don't make it.
Right.
You know, I mean, they did it with the Braves for like 5 years in a row. It seemed like they were battling with the Braves, and then they fall apart.
They fall apart. And Harper is slated to make $350 to $400 million.
Do you think he would have went to the Yankees though?
Yeah. Yes.
God,
yes.
I hate the Yankees.
I do too. And you know, I'm a Braves fan, so yeah, I hate them. But as far as doing media, I mean, I got to keep it real. I mean, what would if you have struck out so many times in Washington? You going listen? The catcher and Judge are young,
very young.
Right? You have an opportunity to be with these guys. So listen, it's 314 down the right field line in New York.
Right.
314.
Only 314.
You know how many home runs Bryce Harper can hit in New York?
That adds maybe 15 more home runs. Right?
Okay, so that $400 million that he possibly could get, yeah, it could pay for itself by the MVPs, the World Series, and things of that nature. That's an investment. That's a business move. Yeah, Derek Jeter, just like he was, moving and grooving with the women, before he got married, he moved and grooved with the Yankees the same way, and he won.
Yeah, man. I didn't understand anyway. Well, I did, but it was like, come on, man. You can't let that. I know he's probably maybe top five.
Who? Harper?
No. I'm talking about Jeter as far as top 3 maybe in Yankees history.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so maybe they felt like, hey, let's go ahead.
The logo to Derek Jeter.
Right, you're not lying. And then he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Talking about because it's too much. Nah.
He didn't escort the Marlins to New York. It was too much press, too much attention.
And he was watching the game in Barbados or something.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah, because he know he had he knew what he did to him.
Yeah, he knew.
But now, granted, I will say this. Stanton leads the league in strikeouts, probably lead AAA and AA, all combined in strikeouts. But think about it. He's played in Miami for the last all of his career. That's 6 or 7 years, right?
Right. When he was Mike Stanton,
right? It's never under 50 degrees in Miami. He goes to New York, and he got to play in cold weather for
Boston,
at least for the first 2 months of the season.
Yep.
So his stats are going to be,
and then don't let them get to the postseason.
Oh,
bro, you just messed up your career.
That's my point.
Sounds like Alex Rodriguez effect too. Alex Rodriguez is from Miami.
Yeah, think about it. They're not used to hitting balls, in cold weather.
And the bogus part is Rodriguez probably purposely didn't call Stanton to let him know that. Just so he can bring that up when I told y'all it wasn't.
Well, he's still mad at Derek because he didn't get a chance to play shortstop. He had to move to third base, so he's still mad at Jeter. So yeah,
man. But I think that would have been crazy with Judge,
Harper. Well, Harper or Judge would have to move to left field. That's the only thing.
Right.
But
you think Harper's a better fielder than Judge?
Or Harper can actually play center. You move.
Yeah, Harper can play center.
You can move Brett or whatever. I forget their center fielder name.
Brett Ellison?
No,
wait, that's somebody else.
This Gardner. Gardner could move to left. So yeah, you put then him and Mike Trout can really have some debates to talk about.
Yeah,
the best center fielder. So
yeah, we need that because back then, I remember when it was A-Rod in Seattle,
right?
Nomar in Boston.
Yeah,
you had Jeter.
Yep.
It was the 3 young guys. You still have Vizquel in Cleveland, but it was like who was the best shorts, and all of them could hit.
Right.
Then I don't know what happened to Nomar. Nomar just
went
married to the Cubs.
Got married to Neil.
He was sorry before he went to the Cubs. We didn't want him.
No one noticed until it was the Cubs.
Right.
Sorry.
I did. I didn't want him.
Who did he marry? What's the ham?
Mia Hamm.
Mia Hamm. I thought I said it right. But listen, let's not be surprised with what the Braves have up the middle. You're looking at that Houston team, and you see Altuve and Carrera.
Right.
They're young, but boy, when this excitement that's going on at SunTrust Park with Dansby finally hitting the ball. I think he's hitting like 351. Then you got Ozzie Albies, who's tied for second in home runs with 6. Hit a monster home run last night off center guard, 100 miles per hour.
100 miles per hour.
Bam! So look for that young group to be exciting for the Braves.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's the fans have to come alive. Like, ever since I moved here, I always said it. It's messed up when they're playing a big team and I can get tickets like the day before. And it doesn't. And like I said, the only people that shows up every game is that 85-year-old couple.
Yeah.
That has season tickets and they chilling, and that's sad. But we have to get excited, man. And when I say we, I'm not talking about me because I'm not a Braves fan. But as far as this Braves fan, Atlanta, you have to get excited that you have.
Yeah.
It's horrible, and I know I gotta go. I'll leave it like this. It's horrible that with all of these teams in the NFL, Atlanta United has the best fan base. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, yes. You know what that means. It is time to let you go. But before I let you go, please don't leave. I have to give a couple of shouts out. First, I have to shout out the big man upstairs, God Almighty. Thank God for giving me this platform to really speak my mind, to say what I want to say, to talk about sports, to make you all mad, happy, upset, want to give me the stop it button. I enjoy all of that. I thank God for that. Then I also got to thank my engineer, G. Appreciate you, man. This might be, I don't know. We'll see if G comes back.
I'll be back next week.
Okay, good. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. All right. No offense, bruh. But anyway, and then I can thank my co-host. What's up, Horace? Appreciate you for coming on, man.
Anytime, man.
Bro.
Anytime.
Had a great time.
Anytime I can go to D&D on a Saturday morning and come up here and talk sports, I'm good.
And also, I like to thank my guest that came on, Mr. Joel Cortez, the 3-Point Conversion correspondent, NBA correspondent. And then we like to thank Damian Adams and Danny Thompson for coming on and participating in Battlegrounds. Thank Ab Stanley for calling in. I'd like to thank my family, my beautiful wife, my children, my cousins, uncles, play cousins, all of you people that I don't know. I appreciate you all for listening live every Saturday. I thank you. Cindy Cuts Barbershop, our sponsor. Sucker Free LLC, our sponsor. Make sure this weekend y'all watch some basketball. I know we don't talk about hockey that much.
Yeah, you can catch hockey on Monday.
On Monday nights. Yep.
DNA Sports.
Yep. And he knows it all. Knows it all. But, watch some NHL, man. Just have a great weekend. It's lovely in Atlanta. I don't know where you are. But make sure you love family. Let family know you love them. Eat good. Have a great time this weekend. Be safe. And then, hey, I got to say this. If Cleveland wins, I just don't want, please, LeBron fans, just chill. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Stop buying suits, though.
Stop buying suits.
Stop buying suits.
Stop doing that. We don't need you to. We don't want to see the grade.
Yeah, we don't need no
purses.
Uniforms.
Don't be carrying purses either.
At least get back on defense.
Right.
Yeah, take the last shot.
But till then, same time. Next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same nonsense in sports. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
We out.
Just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.